Talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game.
We're in a league where they say, players, you don't endorse any alcohol. Please don't endorse alcohol. No DUIs, please. But yet, a beer sponsor is their biggest sponsor.
Here's Frederick Robinson.
Folks, gentlemen, ladies, children, I think I solved the whole Washington Redskins, Robert Griffin the third saga. I think I just squashed it. Because one thing that people are not talking about is that the Washington Redskins, the Skins from DC, are just a bad team in general. They're just a bad team in general when you talk about production. Production from the players, production from each position. They're a bad team, top from bottom, from the front office to the special teams. Period. Robert Griffin III is becoming an EscapeGoat for the Skins front office. RG3, in all seriousness, has been the best thing that the front office has done in the last 3-4 years. And let me remind you that this is not the first time a quarterback that played for the Redskins is taking all the blame for the Redskins' woes in recent years. Donovan McNabb may ring a bell, and during his last years in the NFL, he was blamed for the woes of the Redskins when he was playing quarterback. Not knowing that the Washington Redskins was just not a very good team. Period. Not a very good team. And when you playing in a division like the NFC East, who consistently has developed good playoff teams or good teams, and even with the Giants in recent years, Super Bowl winning teams. You got to have a better team. You got to have a better coach. Robert Griffin III, stat-wise or eye test, is still the best quarterback on their team. Period. When healthy, he's the best quarterback on their team. Hands down. The Michigan State quarterback, Kirk Cousins, he's a solid quarterback. He's a solid quarterback. He's probably one of the best backups in the NFL. But if I'm deciding between RG3 and Kirk Cousins, I'm picking RG3. It's not even a debate. You look at his stats. Robert Griffin III completion rate through his whole career has never been lower than a 60%. We talking about 60%. Last year, he threw for 68% completion rate. Threw for 1,700 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks, and a quarterback rating of 86. His team is just not that good. He only played 9 games last year because he couldn't stay healthy. The offensive line couldn't protect him. It wasn't RG3 recklessly running out of pocket that we hear more of a Michael Vick. He's not a smart runner. RG3 is. RG3 only had 38 rushing attempts last year total. So he wouldn't run out of the pocket that much last year. But he was sacked 33 times. He was sacked 33 times last year. You look at 2013, he played 13 games. Completion rate, 60%. Threw over 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 12 picks. Quarterback rating, 82. But he was sacked 38 times. Once again, sacked over 30 times in a single season. His rushing attempts, he rushed 86 times and almost rushed for 500 yards on the ground. 2012, his rookie year, completion rate 65%, threw over 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks, quarterback rating 102. ran the ball 120 times, rushed for over 800 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Still sacked 30 times. And that was 15 games he played in 2012. So the problem isn't RG3. And in our reality, RG3 is still one of the better players on that team. Period. You look at the players around him. You look at Pierre Garçon. Pierre Garçon had one good year. And mainly because RG3 played 13 of them games. RG3 was throwing him the ball. The year he had over 100 receptions, over 1,300 yards, and had 5 touchdowns. But you can look anywhere in his career before and after, the dude never got over 800 yards receiving. Period. In his whole career, he never caught more than 6 touchdown passes in his career. So you're talking about a very inconsistent player that people look at as one of the top players on their team. Alfred Morris, since he came in the league, has rushed over 1,000 yards every season. Had over 7 rushing touchdowns every season. But one thing is that his production has dropped every year since his rookie year, along with his rushing average, going from 4.8, 4.6, and to 4.1. Mainly because of the offensive line. His attempts has dropped down from his rookie year to last year. And then you look at their defense and you say, what player has produced the way that they should on their defense? You look at Ryan Kerringer and you say he's been a solid pass rusher that he could get season by season 8.5 sacks. Last year was his first season to average over double-digit sacks when he got 13.5 sacks last year. Other than that, there's no consistent player on their defense that has produced since Robert Griffin III has been on the team. D'Angelo Hall is a very inconsistent cornerback. He's a very inconsistent player at this point in time in his career. And you could really say since he was acquired by the Redskins, he's been inconsistent. The Redskins defense has been terrible since RG3 been there. Has been terrible. You talking about a defense in 2014, this is last year, and total yards was 20th in the league. Points allowed per game, 27. That was 31st in the NFL. 2013, total defense, they was 18th. Points allowed per game, 29. That was 30th in the NFL. The year that RG3 took the Skins to the playoffs, along with Alfred Morris, the total team defense and total yards, they was 28th. Points allowed per game, 24. That was 22nd in the NFL. So their defense and points allowed per game hasn't ranked lower than 22nd in the NFL. So you're talking about a team who allows so many points. The only teams that can actually, I would say, the only teams that can actually hide them woes on defense, the Patriots, the Saints, and that's probably it. That's probably it. That's the only 2 teams that I can think about that defense was that bad, but their offense was so explosive that they overcame that game after game. The Redskins doesn't have an offense like that. So that's why they're losing. That's why they're a bad team. I won't say bad players, but players that are not producing. They have an offensive line has allowed almost double total sack amount since RG3 rookie year, going from 33 sacks in 2012 to 58 sacks in 2014. Simple fact is, Washington Redskins is a bad team. Robert Griffin III is becoming an scapegoat for the team woes in the past few years.
Respect what I'm saying.
Did you guys lose this game or did the Jets win this one?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.